The way we designed these instruments made it sound like a squeaky toy. It makes really goofy, squeaky sounds.
I feel like it sounds like a dying robot kazoo.
It sounds like every other synthesizer before you make it fancy.
That's a very new answer. This is the vape synthesizer that we made, and we used specifically this version of the vape, and we used all of the parts that originally came from this vape.
Basic parts of the circuit are a 555 timer, that's sort of like the brains that make it oscillate. However many buttons we choose to add, mark the buttons, and then we essentially take the battery and just hook up the plus and minus to power the whole thing when we're ready. It won't turn on until you actually activate the sensor.
The goal was to use as much as we could out of the vape. That means we're using the original low pressure sensor. So in order to play this, you actually have to suck rather than blow.
Because it's single use, the batteries tend to outlive the use of the device, which means people are throwing away perfectly good lithium batteries. Lithium is a finite resource. It's hard to procure. It's even harder to recycle.
There's actually vapes that don't have a charging circuit. That's part of the absurdity of the battery situation, is they ship with a charged, rechargeable battery, but there's no way to get back in and charge them again.
The first time we presented this, it was through this organization called Open Source Hardware Association, and basically with them, we were able to open source this and share the instruction on how people can make their own vape synthesizer. We are using this project as a call for an action for all the creative reuse and creative salvage of used electronics.